Ciao, sono Anna e questo è My Italian Circle. Genoveffa, oggi facciamo esercizi sulle coniugazioni. Sei pronta?
Certo, ho studiato.
Coniuga andare, imperfetto indicativo, prima persona singolare.
Facile. Io andavo.
Molto bene, hai studiato. Ora, coniuga andare, presente indicativo, terza persona plurale, loro.
Facilissimo. Loro andano.
Malissimo, non hai studiato. E voi? Avete studiato?
Let's practice Italian verbs.
Welcome to a new lesson on verb conjugation. Today we will do exercises on regular and irregular verbs to help you become familiar with ending patterns. Today we'll focus on the indicative mood, present and imperfect tense. You can use this video as a test to find out what you need to focus on. Make sure to also watch our introduction to verb conjugation. We also have an entire playlist on the most common irregular verbs. You can find the links in the description.
Prima coniugazione.
We'll begin gently by conjugating some regular verbs in the presente and imperfetto, starting with the first conjugation. For your convenience, I will keep the endings on the screen, but only for the first two verbs. Let me remind you that the first conjugation includes the highest number of verbs, and only 4 of these are irregular. Let's have a look at the ending of the present tense. In the first conjugation, the vowel a of are is a thematic vowel, repeated in the third person singular and plural and in the second person plural. Are you ready to conjugate? Ballare, presente. Io ballo, tu balli, lui balla, noi balliamo, voi ballate, loro ballano. Pretty easy. And now the imperfetto. It is very similar to the present, but we add the letter V to the thematic vowel A. Io ballavo, tu ballavi, lui ballava, noi ballavamo, voi ballavate, loro ballavano. And now let's conjugate a classic, one of the first verbs that Italian students learn. Mangiare, presente. Io mangio, tu mangi, lei mangia, noi mangiamo, voi mangiate, loro mangiano. And now the imperfetto. Io mangiavo, tu mangiavi, lei mangiava, noi mangiavamo, voi mangiavate, loro mangiavano. I am sure you have noticed that even though the root is mangi, we have not doubled the E in endings beginning with E. Not to mangi, but to mangi. And mangiamo instead of mangiamo. This happens with all verbs ending in ciare and giare, such as cominciare, cacciare, mangiare. And now it's your turn. Conjugate this regular verb of the first conjugation. Ascoltare, presente. Io ascolto, tu ascolti, lui ascolta, noi ascoltiamo, voi ascoltate, loro ascoltano. Siete stati bravi? Did you do well? Now, the imperfetto. Io ascoltavo, tu ascoltavi, lei ascoltava, noi ascoltavamo, voi ascoltavate, loro ascoltavano. And now another verb, saltare, presente. Io salto, tu salti, lui salta, noi saltiamo, Voi saltate, loro saltano. And of course, the imperfetto. Io saltavo, tu saltavi, lei saltava, noi saltavamo, voi saltavate, loro saltavano.
Seconda coniugazione.
Let's now turn to the second conjugation, which contains about 1,000 regular verbs and the vast majority of irregular verbs. By second conjugation, we mean verbs ending in ere. So, the thematic vowel here is e, repeated in the third person singular and in the second person plural. The third person plural changes into ono. Let's conjugate credere in the present tense. Io credo, tu credi, lui crede, noi crediamo, voi credete, loro credono. Easy enough. And now the imperfetto. Io credevo, tu credevi, lui credeva, noi credevamo, voi credevate, loro credevano. It's not that difficult, we just have to follow the pattern. Now that you are familiar with the system, I will remove the endings from the screen. Conjugate this verb. Spingere, presente. Io spingo, tu spingi, lei spinge, noi spingiamo, voi spingete, loro spingono. And now, time for the imperfetto. Io spingevo, tu spingevi, lei spingeva, noi spingevamo, voi spingevate, loro spingevano. Another regular verb belonging to the second conjugation, so stay focused. Vendere, presente. Io vendo, tu vendi, lui vende, noi vendiamo, voi vendete, loro vendono. How did it go? I am sure you did well. And now, vendere imperfetto. Io vendevo, tu vendevi, lui vendeva, noi vendevamo, voi vendevate, loro vendevano.
Terza coniugazione.
We have arrived to the third conjugation, the one whose infinitive ends in ire. This conjugation includes two groups of verbs. Verbs of the second group insert the interfix isc between the root and the ending in some tenses and persons. The thematic vowel is I, visible in the second person plural. I'll start with aprire, presente. Io apro, tu apri, lei apre, noi apriamo, voi aprite, loro aprono. Let's move on to the imperfetto. Io aprivo, tu aprivi, lei apriva, noi aprivamo, voi aprivate, loro aprivano. And now, your turn. Partire, presente. Io parto, tu parti, lui parte, noi partiamo, voi partite, loro partono. Good. Now, l'imperfetto. Io partivo, tu partivi, lui partiva, noi partivamo, voi partivate, loro partivano. Now I need you to remain focused because the third conjugation also includes verbs with the interfix isc before all endings in the present indicative and present subjunctive, except in the persons noi and voi. Let's see a very common verb. Capire, presente. Io capisco, tu capisci, lui capisce, noi capiamo, voi capite, loro capiscono. The interfix isc is not used in the imperfetto so I'm sure you can manage without my help. Capire? Imperfetto. Io capivo, tu capivi, lui capiva, noi capivamo, voi capivate, loro capivano. And now our last exercise. Guarire presente. Io guarisco, tu guarisci, lui guarisce, noi guariamo, voi guarite, loro guariscono. And of course the imperfetto. No isk here. Io guarivo, tu guarivi, lei guariva, noi guarivamo, voi guarivate, loro guarivano. Good job.
Verbi irregolari.
Sooner or later, we all have to deal with the dreaded irregular verbs, those that are not conjugated according to the usual pattern, but change from tense to tense, from mood to mood. How do we learn them? The best solution is to repeat them out loud, write them down, and try to use them as often as possible. Practice, practice, practice. Irregular verbs very often change their root. Let's see andare, for example. Here we alternate two different roots, and vad. Io vado, tu vai, lui va, noi andiamo, voi andate, loro vanno. In the future simple and in the imperfetto, however, there is only the root and. So, let's form the imperfetto indicative of andare. Io andavo, tu andavi, lei andava, noi andavamo, voi andavate, loro andavano. And now, let's test your knowledge of the most common irregular verbs. Complete the sentences with the correct verb form. Io faccio colazione ogni giorno alle 8. Noi veniamo a casa tua domani. Paolo e Sandra, quando vengono? Io dico la verità, ma non so se la dite anche voi. I ragazzi salgono sul treno, noi saliamo sulla nave. If you are not sure about irregular conjugations, check a good dictionary. Treccani is always very helpful. And now, the final test. Take your time. You can pause the video or take a screenshot. These are the verbs used in the text. Irregular verbs are underlined. And this is the end of our exercises on the three conjugations. Today, we focused on the present and imperfect indicative, but more lessons will follow on other verb tenses and moods. The solution to the last exercise is available in the video transcript on Patreon. A presto!